right, let's get this thing started. It's week 12. Vikings have the Patriots this week. It's going to be a tough matchup. Obviously, the Patriots have a lot of good players on their team. Tom Brady's been playing football at a very high level for a long time. Going to go out and try and score more points and try to get more touchdowns. You know. Just kidding. Hello and welcome to week 12. This week the Vikings have the Patriots. So I thought I'd mix up my normal cadence a little bit and try to do this episode as Bill Belichick. But I can't keep it contained. I could maybe pull it off for the football segment because it's really easy to talk about football like Bill Belichick. You know, just kind of mumbling on about scoring more points and how tough the matchup's going to be. But how could I possibly review beer with that tone and general monotony? I can't. So, as long as we're talking about the beer, as long as I have this energy, this un-Bill Belichickian energy, this week I am drinking Skull Splitter from the Orkney Brewery in Quoilu. It's in the Orkney Islands, on the northern end of Scotland. It says 5,000 years in the making, handcrafted in small batches. It is a rich, sophisticated ale, satiny smooth with a deceptively light character. These all sound like a beer that I would like. It is also 8.5% alcohol by volume. Eager to get into it? Let's give it a try. That is unlike any beer I've ever had. The satiny smooth thing is shockingly accurate. It just kind of flows over your tongue. It's very flavorful. Wow. That's really good. Mmm. Wow. Okay. This is really good. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a little close-up of the label here because I think it's really impressive art. Really interesting art, I guess. Focus. It's not going to do it. Okay, well, anyway. The back actually has quite a bit of information, so I wanted to read it. Skull Splitter takes its name from Thorfinn Hauskolith, the 7th Viking Earl of Orkney. Sophisticated, satiny smooth with a deceptively light character, it is a tribute to our colorful forebear. On the nose, this robust beer has a fruity malt character with hints of dark fruits, spicy hop, dates, and figs. On the palate, the sweet toasted malt creates a rich and complex character of molasses, fresh and dried fruits with hints of warming spices. 100% accurate. I would never have described it that way, but it totally fits. That's excellent. Oh, I just realized I had gotten away from pouring it into a glass so you all can see the color and the head and all that. I don't have a glass. Next week I'll try to get back to that. But for the game today. Okay, so most of my pre-game, previews have kind of included a lot of the same talk, if this game was at home, I think the Vikings would have a better chance of winning. I don't see why they can't win. I think they have the more well-rounded team, but something, something, something. It's all true again this week. The Vikings have actually played very well over the last few weeks, 5 or 6 weeks. The defense has played better. I mean, they started off abysmally. They've played better. I saw a stat against the Saints. They held Drew Brees to fewer yards than the Cowboys did. And the Cowboys obviously beat the Saints on Thursday. And that's very impressive. But they still lost because turnovers. And this year, the Patriots are not the Patriots. They're not like the unbeatable force. They are still, I believe, 8-3. And people are writing them off. Like, oh, what happened to the Patriots? They've fallen off a cliff. Tom Brady's ancient. Blah, blah, blah. Paintings up in the attic. And, remember that joke from week 1? Anyway, they're still a very good football team led by a very crafty coach. I like their odds this afternoon, but I would be lying if I said, like, yeah, I think they're going to clean house. I think they can win. I mean, they went to LA and hung with the Rams. They were the better team against the Saints and lost. So, cliches. But they have hung tough with good teams this year. And they've lost to some bad teams. So, I don't really know which Vikings we're going to get. I think the Vikings can pull off a victory tonight. It's going to be tough with Diggs maybe out with a swollen knee, and with Xavier Rhodes questionable with that messed up hamstring. I actually see tonight being more of a shootout, or the Patriots looking better on offense than they have the last few weeks. They've got Edelman, they've got Gronk maybe getting healthy again. They've got Rex Burkhead back off the IR, who I'm a big fan of because of fantasy football and stuff. But I kind of don't want him to do very well tonight. Meanwhile, the whole thing with Bill Belichick and the Patriots is that they try to take away the thing that you do best. What's the thing the Vikings have been doing the best this year? Passing. And with Diggs out, all they have to do is shut down Thielen, which we saw was pretty easy against the Lions. The Lions shut Thielen down when Diggs was out. So what I think is going to happen tonight, we will see a lot of passing to Dalvin Cook, runs to Dalvin Cook, and short passes to Kyle Rudolph, who actually had a really good week last week. All right, a quick check-in with my rest of season predictions that I made a couple weeks ago. It's looking tough. I had originally projected the Vikings and Bears to lose last week to the Packers and Lions, but they both came out with wins. I don't know if that means the Vikings get to 11-4-1, or maybe they just lose a game that I thought they'd win. But they had the Patriots today, then tough, all the way across to the other end of the country to play the Seahawks. Then they get a pretty easy game at home against the Dolphins, hopefully. And then they go to the Lions, who are not very good, but it's a road game against a divisional foe. And the Lions have played the Vikings pretty tough the last few years. And then they finish the season in a very important game against the Bears. Meanwhile, the Packers have a pretty easy go of things. They got the Cardinals today at home. They have the Falcons at home, who are much better at home. The Falcons are. Then they are at the Bears. That's tough. Then they go to the Jets. And then they host the Lions. A game that I'll be at New Year's weekend. The Bears, meanwhile, have the Giants today. They should win that one. They then host the Rams, which could be a very fun game. A very high-power offense against a very high-power defense. Then they host the Packers. Always play tough in December. Then they're at the 49ers, and then they finish at the Vikings. So, it's still anybody's division. I mean, Vikings are a couple games back still, but a couple things fall the right way. The Giants pull off an upset. You never know. The Vikings take the division yet. I'm trying to be very, very cautiously optimistic. I just never know which Vikings team is going to show up. But maybe they're putting all the pieces together. I hope they are. I hope they get a victory today. I think they get a victory today, but I cannot predict that. All right. We're on the home stretch, everybody. Good luck to your teams. Skål för det här. That is delicious. Go Vikings.